jellyfish what's so weird about them is they don't think, they don't have a brain, they don't have any kind of like a nervous system. I don't even know if they have a heart. I don't understand what they are.
Do they love?
Definitely don't love. They don't think.
Yeah.
They don't
you don't
feel.
Have to love it isn't about thinking, Ronnie. Sometimes. One, two, three, four. Hello and welcome to Whip Cream Salmon. I'm your boy, Brian Bastanza. Joining me as always is my boy, Ronnie Sanchez. Welcome to episode 51 of the podcast that talks about all things food, friends, and fuckery, and sometimes animal facts.
Mostly animal facts. We're just becoming it.
Mostly animal facts.
It's become an animal podcast.
Yeah, I guess we can just keep the name and just go full animal time, you know?
Yeah.
It's still got an animal kind of vibe to it.
Mm-hmm.
Salmons are animals.
Yeah, I mean, we talk a lot about like cooking animals.
That's true.
And now we're just talking about the fun things that those animals can also do.
Yeah, before they're eaten.
Mm-hmm.
Love that.
Yeah, circle of life.
Yeah. It's been a while, Ronnie, since we've been on together.
It has been.
Probably, I don't know. Sometimes we squish them right together, and then sometimes they're far apart.
I know these ones are kind of fun though, because now we have a lot to talk about.
I know, almost too much.
Lots of juicy deets.
We got to get right into it.
Tell me all about Bonnaroo, Ryan.
Oh,
I'm so excited to hear about it.
Hell yeah! I'm so excited to tell you all about it. Shorter than expected.
Yeah,
by a lot.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, Bonnaroo was canceled. When we were there, we got in. We stayed in Chattanooga Wednesday night. Got to Bonnaroo site Thursday morning. Set up camp. Went to some events for Thursday night. Some pretty cool stuff. I can talk more about that too. And but then Friday, we wake up. It's kind of gloomy. We knew there was weather in the forecast. Maybe from like noon to 3 or 4. It rains. Rain's pretty good. I'm not gonna like sugarcoat it. It was like raining. But then it cleared up and the sun was out, and the vibe, as in most festivals that I've been to, it rains, the weather subsides for an extended period of time, and then the stages get ready to reopen. And that's usually a really fun time. I couldn't have been more positive about the whole situation. I was telling Sam, like, oh, this is great for the festival, right? Like everyone's going to be fired up. There's some of the sets right after the rain are some of the most lively sets of the entire festival. And we're hanging out, and we're also hanging out with Alex, who is doing the food vending at the festival.
Right.
So he's getting like more. He has like contacts with Bonnaroo, right? And he can get like text messages directly from Bonnaroo telling them like what they're going to do, when they're going to open up their stuff. And we're kind of hanging out. There's a whole mud wrestling situation that was going on. And this guy comes up who's part of Bonnaroo and talking to Alex and his boss. And it's kind of like, yeah, I don't know, like if tonight's going to happen, meaning Friday night. And that to me at the time was like so shocking. I was like, they're not going to do the whole night of Friday? Like, that's crazy to me. And then, I don't know, 45 minutes after that, we're walking around camps, kind of just waiting for things to open or hoping. And then we walk by a group that's kind of discussing that Bonnaroo had just released on Instagram the full announcement that the festival is closed or canceled.
That's so crazy.
It was crazy. It was shocking at the time. It was, man, it couldn't have been worse of a vibe, right? Like everyone's hyped to get back in there, but they're also hyped because like, I mean, Thursday, I've said this a lot, that like Thursday is kind of the pre-party. There's some acts that play, some good ones that play. But there's a couple stages that aren't even open yet.
Yeah, it's all kind of gearing up towards the weekend, right?
Right. The lineups aren't even stacked. Like typically, like all the stages will run like Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Like all the stages run like all day, right? There'll be like set breaks between artists as they like set up the next performance, but all the stages are running. This is not really Thursday's not really that, right? It's like okay, this stage has an artist, and then like they might have like two stages running at the same time, but it's not really like all happening all at the same time. And
Right.
and the second biggest stage, what they call the witch stage, didn't open at all yet. And then yeah, all came crashing down. I have a lot of feelings about it. You know, in the moment, I mean, like, yeah, as far as the vibe change, like,
Sure.
people were crying, right? Like, this was like the you go from like seeing fucking 60 to 80,000 people just super hyped to like really, really sad. It was, you know, I was mad, I guess, like, you know, mad because I was like, I felt like could have done more. Mad that they didn't
especially if the
cancel
sun is out.
Yeah, and like so they cancel it, right? And we stay overnight. Obviously, they weren't gonna kick people out Friday night. Everyone's like already like drunk or doing whatever, right? So we wake up Saturday morning, pack up, blue skies, sunny, really nice. We head out of there in the afternoon, go to Chattanooga. We wound up staying there a night. Blue skies, and so like at that point, I couldn't have been more like pissed. I guess like try the best you can to do the thing. Now I will say I found later that I've seen some pictures that make this look really bad. The conditions of the festival look really bad. I've seen some pictures of camps that were, I think just luck of the draw. Our camp was in a pretty good place, flat, like not really like much, but some camps I think got really wrecked. And then I saw some people like in the center, like where they do the festival, that were like up to their, like halfway up their shins in water.
Oh shit.
And okay, we can handle some mud, but I do understand when someone's like, what happens when a ambulance has to get in there?
Sure.
And it's top priority, for sure. Especially, for a big company that has a lot to lose, right?
Yeah.
That being said, like,
still just so disappointing to cancel the whole thing. It's just,
I mean, the disappointment isn't going to go away. The anger, I think, can be directed or like, to me, I'm like, fucking. So the real meat and potatoes of the problem was it rained 2 weeks up until the festival.
Gotcha.
And then they knew that any amount of rain was going to basically like make the grounds inoperable, as far as I understand.
It's crazy.
Y'all should have canceled it, the whole thing,
before everybody
the week before
came out there.
That's how I feel. That's like how I feel strongly enough about that like it would have. I mean, it doesn't save everything for everyone, right? Like I live close enough where that would have saved the whole thing for me, right? Like I've bought some stuff to like for our adventure, but like it's a 6-hour drive. I didn't have to hop on a plane to do this thing. We could have pivoted, right? Like most people work, right? You have to like schedule like time off and stuff. We could have like, I could have like went to a different something next week, right? And then
100%.
So, and actually, like this story is still kind of developing because initially we got the news that there was going to be a 75% refund issued, which I was surprised that there was going to be anything. I'll be honest. And then I found out yesterday that they have changed that to 100% refund for all tickets.
Well, that's good.
That matters for sure, because I was like, fuck, man, like this is tough. I mean, even for the people who traveled from, we met a couple that was in from Hawaii and shit.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure a lot of people from all over the world, really, and
yeah,
not everybody has the luxury too of just being like, well, we're closed here, let's go find a hotel somewhere else. Like,
yeah.
No, if you can't afford a hotel elsewhere, you probably, I don't know. Maybe you're not in a position that you should be traveling, but that's not really for me to say.
Sure. It's such a mix of like, I feel like the festival crowd is such a mix of like people who've like put themselves in a financial situation where they're able to do these things, right? And like,
yeah,
and it's important to them. There's also like plenty of people who are just like scrounging it together, barely like had enough money for the ticket and made it happen, right? Those,
sure.
That was me when I was a teenager.
Yeah, I recognize you say that when just 2 weeks ago I was talking about sneaking into Outside Lands when I didn't have any money. So it's very hypocritical of me to say that, but
so I don't know. Fuck Live Nation. They're all this is a pre-idiot sandwich, but Live Nation, they can take that hit. I also, the other thing that I'm mostly pissed about is y'all have canceled now 3 of the past 5 Bonnaroos.
Really?
One was COVID, and 2 were weather.
That's crazy.
And you decide to take your money and build a new stage instead of like dealing with fucking drainage of this place. You know what I mean? Like that's it to me. Like if y'all think that a few hour rain can cancel the festival, then like deal with that. Or
especially in an area that gets a lot of rain.
Yeah. And if you talk to OGs who have gone to this festival for 25 years in a row, they're like, it rains all the time. Sometimes it's muddy. They start the stages back up. Change of ownerships, all the shit. Like, and now that's not the case anymore. So pick one. Either be that company that's going to close it, but also invest in the infrastructure that's needed to facilitate the festival, or allow it to be muddy and deal with filling in mud patches next week. Pick one. Don't do neither. Thankful for the refund. 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You and I both have had events canceled to rain this year.
You did?
Yeah, man. Hanshin Tigers game.
Oh, yeah. That's true. You traveled way farther to see the Hanshin Tigers.
I had a lot of other shit scheduled too, though. So there is a difference there. But
I pivoted though because on Saturday night.
I want to hear about this. Do you have a beer with you?
I do.
My beer is condensating. It's getting warm. I had the same one a couple weeks ago. Jimmy's Bike Drive, Crank Arm Brewing in Raleigh.
I went really fancy today. I am drinking a Coors Light since I have about 100 of them in my fridge from the festival that never happened.
Fair enough. Oh, immediate hiccup.
So yeah, Saturday night we get back into Chattanooga. It's actually the afternoon, right? So we're hanging out. We're walking around the town. We're seeing people that were at Bonnaroo with wristbands on. It was kind of, it was fun to see people. There's a lot of good people out there, and to chat them up and all. Yeah, for sure. And then Sammy was like, "Let's go get tattoos." So we went and got tattoos, and now I have a little dumpling on my leg.
I love it. Did you just show them your pin and say, "I want this pin tattooed on my leg"?
I found a picture on the old Google, and I was like, "How about this guy?" So it's a little it's like a soup dumpling with like chopsticks, picking him up. It's the kawaii art style, and he's really cute, super happy, tickled,
smiling dumpling.
Yeah,
I love it.
It's my whole vibe. Now I'm thinking I want to get my whole leg should just be filled with little happy foods, maybe some sad foods. A happy pizza, maybe, maybe a frowny taco.
I want taco.
I want them all to be happy, I'll be honest.
Yeah, it is, especially taco.
Tacos are happy. What would be the saddest food in your opinion? That would be worth tattooing on my body.
I don't know. Immediately think something like sour.
Like a lemon?
Yeah, like a sad lemon. I don't know. I don't know.
That's pretty cool. I fuck with that.
Not the worst thing.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay.
Got to get color because a black and white lemon. What is that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But yeah, that was really fun. That was it's helpful.
Yeah, I like that. It was a good way to turn it around.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, best of your ability, anyways.
So yeah, and then getting back Monday into work. I think that was the moment when I was like, it kind of was like, fuck, man, I just put all this effort into this thing that didn't happen, and now I'm just back at work after.
Right, and it's not like you can like, yeah, you get your money back from the festival, but still, it's not going to cover all the money that you spent on it.
Right.
But then you also burned up a lot of PTO hours that you're not going to get back.
Yes. I did take my Monday back that I worked.
Did you?
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I mean, it wasn't a ton of days, right? Like some years, like 3 days here and 3 days there, like don't matter. I happen to have a fair amount of stuff planned, so that does kind of matter right now.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, is what it is. We're bouncing back. Hot as fuck in Charlotte right now.
Yeah. It's pretty toasty here. Although yesterday and today have been pretty nice. Rochelle and I went out to the coast.
Yeah, tell me.
A couple days ago.
Tell me all about it.
Stayed the night out there. It was great. We stayed on Topsail, or Topsail as it's spelled. But, North Carolina, this Topsail.
Mm-hmm.
Topsail Island, and it was nice. It was it's like a big long sandbar. It's pretty similar to like the Outer Banks, and we ended up staying in a motel, which I think it may be my first motel experience, although this one was like way out at the end of the sandbar. And from the outside, if it didn't have such good reviews, I probably wouldn't have been willing to stay there. Outside it looked a little rough. Inside it was super cool, super nice, quaint.
Nice.
Good spot, right on the ocean.
Nice.
Yeah, Stevie had a great time,
Ooh,
to,
yeah, you bring Stevie, stay in the hotel with you?
Yeah, that was another thing. It was a pet-friendly hotel.
Cool.
And, yeah, she got to run around on the beach a little bit, and that's good. Bring an old dog out to the ocean. Just to love to look at the water, so.
That's awesome.
It was a good time. It was a good time.
So would you go for the evening and then... Or were you there for the whole week?
We stayed a night there. Just went out, stayed a night, came back the next day.
Cool.
We went out for a nice dinner.
Nice.
And, I don't get to eat out a ton. So when I do, I like to dine.
Mm-hmm.
So we ordered, I think there was 4 appetizers. And then we were going to share an entree. I ordered the 4 appetizers. They all fucking come out the same exact time. And they just place them all down in front of us. Like, this is not how I want to eat. You got cold food and hot food.
I mean, sometimes that's what you're looking for, though, right?
If you're with more than 2 people, 2 people, they like set down like a big basket of calamari and then like a whole Caesar salad and then like, it's like, so instead of being able to like enjoy individual things coursed out, they just like plopped. It was just way too much food to put down in front of 2 people to the point where they're like moving stuff off the table to like set things down. Like,
right.
This is ridiculous.
Yeah.
I almost asked them like, wait, would you guys just take back the cold food and hold it until we're done with the hot food?
Yeah.
I also did make a point of saying like, we're going to start with this item and then this item and then this item.
And it seemed like a place that was like...
Yeah, it was like a nice spot. And they just like dumped it all on the table. It's like, I was pretty upset about that, honestly.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But...
It was good?
Yeah, it was pretty good. But it was just hard, when you put down that much food in front of people, like you can't sit there and enjoy like each thing. You're like, take a bite of this crab cake, take a bite of the Caesar salad, take a bite of this thing. So,
Sure.
So you're not really like enjoying each item for what it is.
Yeah.
So it was disappointing.
Okay.
Food was pretty good.
Word.
But yeah, work on that.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a server, pick up on some cues. Don't fucking just bring 2 people 4 plates of food. Just set it in front of them.
Yeah. For sure.
Now, totally different experience if, you know, you and Sammy and Rochelle and I all go out to eat together at fucking like the Szechuan place and we order the whole menu.
And we order for...
Totally different.
Agreed. But is it our job to communicate that? It's kind of their job to ask, right? Like usually they ask and are like,
I felt like I communicated it. I could have been more explicit for sure.
Yeah.
But I mean, like kind of read the room. It's just like an absurd amount of food to just place in front of people.
Sure.
But now I know.
Yeah. I had a good meal in Chattanooga. We sent you some pictures of that kind of the Japanese spot. It's kind of like a ramen spot. It was actually, I think Sammy was like looking up like an izakaya. I wouldn't fully call it an izakaya. It's kind of like a family style restaurant in the sense of like there's like a long table, so everyone's kind of sitting at the same table. They're ordering obviously separately. And then outside there's like a couple tables and benches and stuff. So it's all kind of that family style eating.
Okay.
And that was really good. We got I guess it was like a Japanese Scotch egg. That was kind of fun.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was like a Scotch egg with like, I don't know if it was, what kind of sausage was it, but it probably had some like hoisin on there. And it was like pankoed and it was kind of half and it was beautiful. Got some karage there, got a
nice
fried like I guess like it was kind of also like a fried pork curry sandwich.
Okay.
There. That was really good. And what was the other thing that we got? We got some wings, some like dry rub wings. Place was fire. It was really good.
Nice.
And it was actually super inexpensive. We'll throw the name in the episode description, but yeah, it was awesome. And the whole thing came to like 50 something bucks with like a couple drinks as well. That's just crazy nowadays. That was really good.
Did you end up making that Korean fried chicken that you asked me about the other day?
Yeah, I did. Was that Thursday night?
How'd that come out?
It was pretty good. So Sam's brother and his wife came into town, and they came over for dinner Thursday night. They're in town for a wedding that they're going to right now, Saturday as we record this. And yeah, it was good. I don't know. I really was aware that dish is really super spicy, right? Like if you do like the real like Korean fried chicken, it's mostly gochujang in the sauce, right? That's like the base of the sauce.
Fermented chili paste.
Yeah, it's super spicy. Like if you try it by itself, it's pretty hot. And there's some soy in there and garlic and what else is in there?
Okay.
Ginger for sure. Definitely some rice vinegar in there, and some water, and you kind of cook it down. I used, and we talked about this on the phone, I used a bunch of ketchup in there as a replacement. I probably did like a quarter gochujang and like 3/4 ketchup
to try to make it milder,
make it more mild, and it was still spicy. And it was good, and it came out good. Oh, and there's it's honey. There's a lot of honey in there, so it's this like sweet, like lacquer kind of sauce. And it turned out pretty good. Everyone enjoyed it. I thought it was a little ketchupy, I guess. I would have just, if I was eating it by myself.
Well, you just wouldn't have made it like that.
I would have just made it with the gochujang and just had been fine blowing the back of my head off. You know, I also botched it a little bit because I think I cut the chicken up too big. I had like, I don't know. They were like maybe 2 inches by like an inch thick, like strips. I had some thighs and just kind of stripped them out like that. And I wish I went smaller. I think what's great about that dish when it's done well is it's like such like it's mostly crispy and there's not much like meat to it, which I don't know if that sounds not great, but that it's really good when it's done well.
Yeah, you just want those like
Saucy, crispy
like popcorn.
bites.
It's like popcorn chicken, you know, where it's like it's almost equal parts, you know, the breading or the like outer whatever you have, the dredge.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like equal parts chicken to crispy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing with Korean fried chicken too, is like, you know, typically you don't dress like a breaded fried chicken or like protein, you know, because it makes the breading soggy, where Korean fried chicken is kind of an exception to that. And I think that's why it is so important to have such like an equal distribution of like the dredging to the chicken to like keep that crispy nature with like the sauce.
Right. Even though you're sogging it out, you're still like want it.
Yeah.
To you still, when you bite into it, want it to be crispy.
Yeah.
I guess it's similar to like if you did like General Tso's, right? I mean,
Sure.
Or orange chicken or something like that. They don't all come out like that. I feel like a lot of times when you go to the Chinese restaurant, it's like, I think most people's perception is this soggy kind of thing, and it's good that way. But it's nice when there's crispy bites. Those ones are cut thicker though. The intent of those ones are more like chunks.
Yeah.
That then are kind of this soggy thing. Where the Korean fried chicken, if you have it done well, they're like really thin strips. But yeah, dinner was awesome. It was good. We had some rice. We had some wok sauteed, like stir fry vegetables. I did some more of that Korean cucumber kimchi. Not really kimchi again, just kind of pickles.
Yeah.
But I whipped those up in a couple minutes, and let those marinate for an hour or two. And we had those with it, and yeah, it was great. It was a great dinner.
We did something like that at the sushi spot, where you like quarter cucumbers and then cut them into like 1.5 2 inch long segments, take the seeds out, and then you would season them with like a Korean salt, which I think is just like an MSG salt, honestly, but pretty heavy salt, and then something called cooking syrup, which I'm pretty sure is just like a corn syrup. And you'd let that sit for like 1.5 2 hours, and then take them out, throw them into like a rag and like strain them out, like squeeze the shit out of them and try to get out like a lot of that moisture. And then from there you toss them in basically like a gochujang, like is it basically like a quick kimchi. So like toss them in like a kimchi base, and that's what it was served with. It was a smoked bass. Yeah, it was a smoked bass.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
that's cool. Yeah, this is I should have mentioned that. Like I salted those cucumbers like for probably like a half hour ahead of time. Cut them, slice them, salt them, put them in the fridge, pull them out, rinse them. So yeah, and what I learned was that like it should go from a cucumber. If it's a fresh cucumber, it'll snap. If you have a little chunk, and it'll like snap in half. But then like after like that salt process, you should be able to like kind of bend the thing.
Yeah.
And without it snapping. And yeah, it's so good, and it's super easy. I've been using fish sauce. I think you could sub out the fish sauce that I used for soy or tamari or whatever you have. Yeah, soy sauce, sesame oil, some sesame seeds, garlic, ginger, vinegar, rice vinegar. Yeah, so good.
Super simple.
So good.
It's really good.
Spicy and fresh, and like just feels like summer to me.
Yeah.
That kind of,
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, really cool.
Oh yeah. I been using the pizza oven quite a bit.
Nice. Yeah. Hell yeah.
I did I told you I had that pork porterhouse in the freezer for a while. Finally got around to using that. I ended up cooking it in the pizza oven. Threw a cast iron pan in there, get it screaming hot, sear the pork chop in there. And then we went to the farmer's market, got a bunch of veg, and I just made like a quick like succotash with corn and poblanos and some spring onions that were dying in the fridge that I didn't think I'd ever get to use, and put those to use, and some garden fresh tomato, and just threw everything in the cast iron, just like let it cook. I made a sauce or something too. I can't remember, but I totally botched the pork chop.
Oh,
I was just like had a total mental lapse, and I, pull it out, I probe it, and for some reason my brain was like 165. and then like I'm getting it like closer and closer to that number, and then it probably got around like 158, and I like suddenly realized that I was like, it was way overcooked. I'm like, what am I doing? What am I doing? I just had this like total lapse and like, so it was still good. It was just, it was overdone.
And it was thick. It was a thick boy.
Yeah, it was a thick boy, like a beautiful bone in pork porterhouse. And I just like, overcooked the shit out of it.
You want to probably pull that out at like what, 135, 140?
Yeah, dude. And I don't know why, like in my head, I was just like not thinking, and I know when I first probed it, and because I was like feeling it, I was like, yeah, I think we're probably about there. And I think the gauge read like 132, and I was like, oh, we're way off. And I just threw it back in there. And then it like occurred to me like 10 minutes later. I don't know how, 5 minutes later, whatever. I was like, oh, fuck.
I do feel like you have to push the bone-in pork chop a little further than like if you just had a tenderloin, right?
Yeah. Because, I mean, the meat like right on the bone is going to take longer to cook, but...
Probably pull it out at like 142, though. Especially in a hot, like, since the oven is so hot, right? Like the outside is hot, right? Like that matters to the carryover. Mm-hmm. The hotter most of the meat is, right? The outer layer, if that part is hotter, that means it's going to carry further.
Yeah. When
you pull it out. So if you're cooking it at 800 degrees or whatever you're at, you probably get away with it pretty low, and then let it rest for 15.
Yeah. So anyway, did that. It came out good. The veggies were phenomenal. Nice. I had some kind of sauce underneath, which at this point I like can't remember what it was at all. But anyway, it was all very good. And then a day or two later, I had some dough in the fridge, and I ended up using that as make like a quick bread in the oven for like a steak sandwich.
Ooh.
Like sub style. You ever gotten a bavette steak? It's very similar to like a skirt in texture. It's just, It's so good. It's such a good cheat. I mean, it's fairly inexpensive too, because I think most people don't know what it is. It isn't like super popular.
What's the shape? Is it like a long rectangle?
Yeah, about.
I feel like I've had that cut.
They don't have like a real. Their shape isn't as consistent as like a ribeye or something,
Right. I guess I'm thinking of like, is it similar to like a hanger almost?
Dude, I'm not a bit butcher. I'm not.
Sure. Ribeye good.
Yeah, exactly.
That's my take.
Yeah, it comes off of like somewhere around like the flank.
Gotcha.
That area. So
the flankish.
Don't come in correcting us, because I don't actually know. But I'm pretty sure it's around that area.
Where's the flank again? Is that the ankle?
Yeah, the whole ankle flank. The flankle.
Yeah, ankle flank. Gotcha.
But yeah, seared up the bavette, sliced that, and then I made a quick sauce with just QP mayo and like a chili garlic paste. Dude, I was looking
Nice.
all over for sambal. Like I guess out here it's just not really a thing at most grocery stores.
Well, yeah, I guess like the chili garlic paste, right?
It's like,
you can get that at the regular grocery store.
dude, I went everywhere, and then I went to the Korean market, and the Korean market I learned is closed on Mondays.
Ugh,
So
break your little heart.
So it was like my fourth stop, and then I ended up going to Harris Teeter, and actually the one that I wanted, they were out of stock. So I ended up going with some other generic brand, but it was fine. Anyway, made the quick sauce, smeared it on the fresh bread, the steak, and then some arugula. Oh, and I melted some mozz over the top of the steak too.
You do all that in the pizza oven?
Yeah, that's fun.
Got some browning on that mozz?
Yeah, it was fun. It was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's a
good time. Little on the acidic side. Maybe a little too much lemon in my as I dressed my arugula on top, but it was good. Arugula is such a good green, though.
Yeah,
I think so too.
It's my favorite green. There's other greens that are good. I think the flavor is better than anything.
Yeah, it's kind of spicy, a little bitter. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great for sandwiches. Good for salads. Really good for salads. I mean, that pepperiness makes it really good for everything. It's awesome. It's a little delicate. I mean,
a little bit,
as lettuce is. Sometimes we buy it and we get through half the bag and it's no longer good, which is a bummer sometimes. I guess if you actually like take it out and wash it and put it into a container with, paper towels to make sure that it's well taken care of. I'm sure you can mitigate a lot of that too, though. But it also just doesn't have that long of a shelf life. Not like a romaine would. Like a romaine is kind of, you bet on a week for a piece of lo mein, or a head of lo mein.
You said lo mein.
Romaine? Did I say lo mein? Can also bet on a week for some lo mein, I bet.
What is the difference between lo mein and chow mein? Sometimes I see them both on a menu, and I think to myself, I thought they were the same thing. Okay,
I'll take a stab at it. I think chow mein is a thinner noodle.
Okay, I can't confirm nor deny.
Okay. Well, Ronnie will be on the fact check after this, so stay tuned.
I went in and staged on Thursday. Yeah, Thursday. Yeah.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, this pizza shop actually in town. I'm really excited about it.
Okay.
I wouldn't just go and work at like any pizza shop. I think this place is like exceptionally cool. It's in the area of town. It's my favorite neighborhood of Raleigh. And they have a super small menu. It's just, they offer one size pizza, and they offer a cheese pizza that you can add toppings to, a white pizza, or a square pizza. So there's just one is like the kind of more Detroit style square pan pizza. And then one is more of like a New York style.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
And then the salads are all like pre-made, sandbagged in like to-go clamshells. And the dessert, they have cannolis that are handled by the front of the house. And it's just like, but it just...
Okay.
The epitome of like what I've been harping on about like doing whatever you're going to do with conviction. The same like In-N-Out model where they offer a cheeseburger, a double cheeseburger, a burger, fries. Like, there's not and they just do those things really, really well.
And guess what? They fucking crush.
They crush. And this pizza place, they fucking crush. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pies.
Slices or pies or
No
both?
slices.
They do no slices. You can't go in for a slice. Okay. Looks good. They got a good, what kind of oven?
They have deck ovens. There's 4 of them, and they
two doubles,
and they just crank. I mean, they're just slanging, and they're in the process of opening one new spot that is only going to be for takeaway, and I think I'm not 100%, but I think that the idea of that is to alleviate some of the takeaway from this location, which is their like OG location. They get their hands in some other fun stuff. But yeah, no, I went staged there, threw some pies. This dude, Roger, who he's just like the OG on the line, you know, and he's just, I walk up, he looks at me, goes, "What's your deal?" I was like, he's like, "You ever done pizza before?" I was like, "Yeah, I mean, it's been a long time. You know, I worked at a pizza shop when I was like 21, 22.
We also made hella pizzas at Plump Chop.
For sure. We didn't hand toss those though. They were all sheeted.
That's true.
But yeah, I was like, yeah, I mean, it's been a long time. I've done pizza in like a number of different restaurants, also Moody's and Truckee. I tossed doughs there. So, yeah, I've definitely done it. I was like, I'm rusty for sure. So I could spend some time, but I was like, give me a couple days in here and I'll be right back at it. And, yeah, kind of stuck around for like a little bit of the lunch rush. I thought I was going to be there for the night, honestly. And they were like, the next pizza you make it for yourself, however you want it. I was like, oh, you're kicking me out. But then they asked me to come back. So, yeah, no, it's cool, really cool crew. Like everybody's just like vibing. Is not at all the previous experience. And also the dude that hired me, he actually came from the same sushi restaurant that I just came from.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
did y'all trauma bond over it?
Well, I didn't tell him during the interview because he was the exec over there. And so I didn't want to be like, oh yeah, I worked at that spot for a week and I couldn't hack it, you know? So I was like, I told him after the stage, I was like, yeah, I didn't want to tell you before. I was like, I wanted to come in and show you that I could actually throw down before. I was like, oh yeah, like I couldn't hang over there because I could. No. I just wasn't willing to put up with like the hours and shit from that place. So, but yeah.
What was the response there?
I mean, he was just like mostly in agreement that, the way that it's structured over there is too much. And he's like, yeah, we can't keep anybody. He was saying that in the time that he worked there, he's like, I probably saw like 100, 150 people come and go, which is just crazy.
Oh, that even says more to be like, it's not necessarily the manager on duty's fault. Yeah. Right. It's like the overall structure,
the hours, like that's all of it. It's just too much. He worked on the test kitchen side of it. So, and he worked at I think it's Saison in San Francisco, which they're a 3 Michelin star restaurant.
Oh yeah.
And now he's doing pizza. So it's like, I felt like he and I kind of bonded. We had like similar career arc. Not that like I never worked at a Michelin star place. I was never like at that level, but we both come from, like fine dining background, like, or at least like high end food background, and then ended up at this pizza spot where they're just like making really good pizza. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
It's awesome. So you're locked in.
I start on Tuesday. Or no, sorry, start on Wednesday.
Cool. 5 days a week. You're on the schedule.
And they're closed every Tuesday. So I told them, I was like, the only thing I require is 2 back-to-back days off. It's like I'm too old for the split shift.
Yeah.
It's like, if like once in a while something comes up, somebody needs something. Okay. But I don't know. I need a consistent schedule.
Sure. Mornings? Or there's 2 shifts?
It's only evenings.
Okay.
They're open like 5 to 9 most days. And then I think Friday, Saturday, Sunday, they're open like 12 to 9. So not super late, not super early either. So
Cool. That's awesome. Happy for you.
thanks, bud.
How's the pizza that you brought home? What'd you put on it?
I did half pepperoni, half sausage and mushroom.
Nice. Great combo. I think we
Yeah.
talked about both of those pizzas last week.
Mm-hmm.
What'd Rochelle think?
Really enjoyed it. I've had pizza from them, I think, once or twice before. Just a good spot, like limited seating in there. Just like classic pizza shop.
Cool.
You know, good vibes.
Yeah. Yeah. Love it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. And the owner was like very hands-on too. He was like, he's a New Yorker as well. It's like, I know it doesn't look like I'm doing much right now, but it's like, actually, it's because I'm not doing anything. But he's like, but we're busy. He's like, I'll be in here. I'll be fucking, he's like, I'll scrub dishes. I'll do this and that. I was like, that's cool, man. Like,
that matters. I mean, that matters more than people think.
Yeah.
That affects morale, which affects the pizza, which affects the customers'
Totally
satisfaction, and the whole thing.
Yeah. Just good to work for somebody that gets it.
Yeah.
For sure.
Good shit. You fuck with animals?
Fuck with some animals.
Fuck yeah.
It's time for the Whip Cream Salmon animal school for folks that don't know much about animals.
Yeah. I want to know more about animals too.
As well.
I got an animal.
What's your animal?
Have you ever heard of the immortal jellyfish?
I have heard of the immortal jellyfish.
I'm going to read a little blurb about it.
Okay.
I might fumble through some of these scientific words.
Okay.
But I'm going to try.
No, don't bore us with details, okay?
Okay.
We're not a details podcast.
Maybe I won't even say the scientific name. I'll say it. Teratopsis dorni.
Okay.
Teratopsis dorni has the ability to reverse age and theoretically live an eternal life. Because of its ability to regrow cells, it can theoretically escape death over and over again. The life cycle of the immortal jellyfish is what makes it extraordinary. Like most jellyfish species, it begins life as a larva, which settles on the surface and grows into a polyp, which is like a blob-like cyst. Gross.
Lovely.
I mean, jellyfish, we all know what they are, right?
Jellyfish are. What's so weird about them is they don't think. They don't have a brain. They don't have any kind of like a nervous system. I don't even know if they have a heart. I don't understand what they are.
Do they love?
Definitely don't love. They don't think.
Yeah.
They don't,
you don't
feel.
Have to love it isn't about thinking, Ronnie. Sometimes. Sometimes it's a leap of faith.
That's not love.
But the immortal jellyfish, when it faces stress, injury, or starvation, has the ability to revert back to the polyp stage.
What the?
The process is called transdifferentiation. And they're basically like turned back into a baby, and then they turn again back into a jellyfish and can do that over and over again if nothing kills them.
That's crazy. They're like Benjamin Button.
Yeah. They button and then they Benjamin and then they button again.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Did you know that octopus have 3 hearts?
Ooh.
And they have blue blood?
Okay.
And 2 of their hearts work their lungs, and the other heart works the rest of their body.
They have lungs?
And apparently when they swim, the heart which doesn't make sense, when they swim, the heart that works their body stops beating, which is why they can't swim very far. They get really exhausted quickly. So that's why you see them kind of like shoot off and then like nestle down somewhere.
Okay. They should just keep it
pumping.
running the whole time. Yeah.
Probably when you're exerting the most energy, it's probably the best.
That's cool.
And their blood isn't iron based; it's copper based, which is why it's blue.
Interesting.
Super weird. They're aliens.
So weird.
They're super.
They're
aliens,
definitely aliens.
for sure.
I think I've said this before, but if you haven't seen it, My Octopus Teacher is a wonderful documentary.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice animal, Ronnie.
Thanks, Bob. Now it's time for the Whip Cream Salmon School for Cooks That Don't Cook Good.
What about the idiot sandwich?
Now it's time for the idiot sandwich.
What are you? Idiot.
You stupid idiot!
I'm an idiot sandwich.
You're an idiot! Of all the idiots, you stand alone.
The idiot sandwich.
Idiot sandwich. I forgot. Forgot the forgot the order.
Fuck Live Nation. They're my idiot sandwich. That's all I have to say.
Fuck Life Nation. Yeah, you're sending them a party sub.
Yeah.
Okay.
They can all have part of a big old sandwich.
Very good.
And next time, drain your field before you invite 80,000 people to come dance.
Totally.
Yeah.
My idiot sandwich. I went out and I bought, I've talked a lot about that I'm not a baker. I'm not good with dough, yeast things. I just don't have a lot of experience in it. Maybe I will now that we're going to be working at a pizza shop. I went to make some dough the other day for a pizza oven. And I make the dough with this dry active yeast, and I think I confused it for the instant yeast, and I didn't give enough time to bloom. So I made that batch, and I was like, think that this one isn't going to work. So I ran out. Oh no, I didn't run out. So I looked in my fridge and I was like, oh, I actually have instant yeast. So I made a batch with that. And then I got similar results. I was like, what the fuck is going on? 3 days later, there's like no real development in my dough. Some, but very slight. Turns out the active yeast, dry active yeast, I just didn't give enough time to bloom. The instant yeast expired in 2022. So both were dead. But I had fully prepared to make pizza. Anyways, so I was like, well, I'm just gonna use this shitty dough that I made.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'd recommend not doing that. Turns out your body cannot digest it. And I had a stomach ache and was backed up for several days because there was no yeast to break down the dough.
Oh, that's interesting.
So, idiot sandwich me. Check your yeast. Let it bloom. Make sure it's not expired. I went out and got more yeast. This one looks better.
Nice.
So,
what's the expiration date on the new yeast? What is the time?
It's like 4 years from now. So I don't know. I don't know how old this other yeast is. Yeah. I'm not officially old enough to have things like that in my fridge. I'm like, when is this from?
Yeah. I mean, you got that in Truckee?
And then, well, I think Rochelle got it. I think it moved here from Reno with us, and so she had it. I mean, there's only 3 packets in the sleeve, so I don't know. Maybe she bought one that had it was already later in its life. I don't know.
Yeah, those little yeasts traveled a long distance to make some
dead
shitty dough for you.
Yeah, sure did.
That's hilarious. And now, Ronnie,
it's time.
What time is it?
It's time for the Whip Cream Salmon School for Cooks That Don't Cook Good.
How do you do it? Let me hit you with some knowledge. This is the moment we've all been waiting for.
Let's go.
Woo!
Woo. I have a thought / tip.
Okay.
My thought is, why is flour the default for frying things? Where I think that cornstarch is a better option.
I think in a lot of ways it is.
Yeah, for frying thing. Obviously, you're not gonna make don't make pizza dough with cornstarch.
You can try.
You could try. Write us an email, whipcreamsalmon@gmail.com. Let us know how it goes. Send us some pictures. We'll talk about it. But it just makes like the crispiest battered dough. Like it's just, and it like holds up over time too. I think more than like flour.
Yeah.
Like a flour batter does as well. I mean, I've known that, I guess, a little bit, but just doing the Korean fried chicken this week was like, man,
Super crunchy.
cornstarch, better option for a lot of things. So yeah, I mean, next time you have to fry something, you don't have any flour, give cornstarch a try, give potato starch a try. Make your shit super crispy. It's awesome.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to kind of piggyback on the frying topic.
Nice.
Save your frying oil. You can utilize that more than one time. Oil isn't super cheap, so I have a big ass mason jar that I keep for frying things. You know, use it a handful of times.
Yeah.
Before you get rid of it, and just make sure you filter it and keep it in an airtight jar, and you're good to go.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, when you think about like a restaurant will change out their order oil depending on how busy they are. Some every day, some every couple of days, some less often than that. But I mean, still, like just the idea of like frying stuff for like over 8 hours, a lot of times 12 hours, depending on how long the restaurant's open. Like,
Yeah.
you can get a lot of use out of some fry oil. And when you're working at the house, you might only be frying stuff for 30 minutes. Like you can get some turns out of that oil.
Frying like 4 or 5 pieces of chicken or something at a time, you know.
Right.
Like you got a lot of life left in that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did the same thing, and I fried that chicken, and then I stored it in some mason jars sitting on my counter right now.
Here you go.
Yeah.
All right. Can we go now?
Well, I think it's time.
It's time. Next week is our 1 year anniversary
Sure is.
of released episodes.
Ep 52.
52.
What anniversary are you and I on? Just as being buds.
I think we met in 2011. I don't know how many years that is from now.
Math, 14.
It's 14 years. Our 15th anniversary is coming up.
Yeah. We should renew our vows.
I'm down.
Maybe we'll do it live on the pod.
Okay.
Yeah, it's episode 100 when we get there.
Okay. Very good.
Hit us up. whipcreamsalmon@gmail.com. Whip Cream Salmon Podcast on Instagram. Stay creamy. We love you. And we'll see you next week.
Yeah, we love you. Yeah, and we got listeners, Germany, tuning in every fucking week
Let's go, Germany.
for so long now. Say hi. Because I know you hear this and see you listening.
Yeah.
Still don't know who you are.
We want to give you a big virtual hug.
Yeah.
Send
Brian.
us a picture to our email.
Yeah, Brian's going to send you fan mail.
I'll send fan mail
Yeah. We're big.
from Whip Cream Salmon.
Yeah, we're big fans.
We're fans of the listeners. Of course we are. I mean,
And cut.
it's a wrap.